Hi, I'm Helen. Welcome to my channel. Today's class is a Christmas flow. We'll start in child's pose, so bring the knees as wide as the mat with the big toes together. Seat to heels, belly between the thighs, third eye to the floor, arms extended in front with the palms touching the earth, just surrender down. Center in on your breathing, deep inhales, deep exhales. This time of year can be really stressful and emotional, so this class will focus on the hips. We hold so much tension and emotions in our hips. It's good to get them moving, get some mobility, some fluidity, get deep in there and release whatever we're holding that we no longer need. This year has been a challenge for many people. So as it comes to a close, just focus on the good things it's brought you. Take a deep breath. Walk the hands over to the left side of the mat, keeping the forehead on the floor, seat glued to the heels for a lateral stretch down the right side body. Getting into those intercostal muscles between the ribs. And on an inhale, walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. We'll do the other side. Seat glued to the heels. Feeling the stretch down the left side body. Enjoying this moment of peace on the sanctuary of your mat amongst all the mayhem and chaos that is occurring elsewhere in the world. Come back to center. Come into a narrow child. We'll move through rolling child. So on an inhale, come up to cat. And as you exhale, dip the hips, bend the arms, come through reverse cobra, forehead to the earth. Inhale, cobra, round the back to cat, seat to heels, child. Inhale, cat, reverse your cobra, bending the arms, bringing the chest and forehead to the earth. Inhale, lift into cobra, exhale, round into cat, seat to heels. Inhale, cat. Exhale, belly dips and chest comes to the earth and the forehead. Inhale, lift the head, cobra. Exhale, cat, back to child. Inhale, cat. Exhale, reverse cobra, forehead to the earth. Inhale, lift the head, cobra. Exhale, cat. Seat to heels, child. One more time. Through reverse cobra. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, cat. Child. Come to neutral and make your way onto the back. Release down to the earth and bring the knees into the chest. For thread the needle. So knees come to tabletop, externally rotate the left hip, keep the left foot flexed. It comes just above the right knee. You can stay here or reach through and grab the back of the right thigh. If it's within your practice, maybe grab the shin. Otherwise, you can just hold on to the left foot. Make sure the left knee is pushing away from the body. And feeling the stretch in the outer left hip, not the knee. Deep breaths here. A little bit of hip opening at the start of class, setting us up for the rest of practice. Bring the arms to cactus and keeping the legs in the same shape, allow them to fall over to the right side of the mat for a supine twist. So the sole of the left foot is on the earth and the right leg is bent. This version of a twist just gets a little bit deeper into the hips. You can look over the left shoulder if it feels good. Inhale, return to the midline. Release the leg. Give yourself a little squeeze. Second side. Externally rotate that right hip. Right foot comes on top of the left knee on the thigh area. Keep the right foot flexed. Bring the right knee towards the right shoulder. Externally rotating that hip. Right knee moving away from the body. Holding on to the foot or to the back of the thigh or to the shin. Whatever is within your practice. Deep breaths. Now move into this reclined twist on the second side. So keeping the legs in the same shape, allow them to fall over to the left side of the mat. Maybe look over your right shoulder. Arms are in cactus. The sole of the right foot is on the floor. Left leg is bent. Try to keep both shoulders planted on the earth. Deep breathing, equal inhales and equal exhales. Come back to center. Release that right knee. Give yourself another little squeeze. And rock and roll up to seated, coming over the feet and back into our first downward facing dog. Hands are around shoulder width apart, feet are around hip width apart, upper back is wide, the knees can be bent with the sit bones to the sky. Gazing point is about 2/3 down the mat. This helps keep the head in the right position with the ears between the biceps. Focusing on lengthening the spine, maybe pedaling out the feet, walking your dog, getting into those hamstrings, enjoying this stretch. Right leg lifts to the sky, and on an exhale, right foot steps up between the hands. Bring the back knee down to the earth. Inhale, body comes up. Hands are interlaced on top of the right knee. Then descend into the hips, keeping the chest lifted, front ribs engaged. Feel the stretch in the left psoas, the left hip flexor. We do so much sitting at desks and driving. This is a great stretch to help with the lower body. On an inhale, palms come to the sky, and exhale, tip over to the right for a lateral stretch. Your hand may come to the earth or to a block. Keep the body on the side plane and feel this stretch in the left hip flexor and the left waist. Deep breathing, descending the hips. Inhale, return to the midline. Exhale, plant the hands. Seat moves back towards the left heel for half Hanumanasana, half split. Don't worry about how far you come forward over the leg. Fold from the waist. Focus your awareness on that hamstring on the back of the right leg, never going too deep, just going to the edge of challenge. Inhale, come forward, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Maybe pedal out the legs. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps up between the hands. Right knee descends. On an inhale, the body comes up. Interlace the fingers above the left knee. Descend the hips into a low lunge. You can keep the back toes tucked or release them. Inhale. Here, lifting the chest. Deep breaths. Think about scissoring those thighs, and that really helps neutralize the pelvis. On an inhale, both arms lift up to the sky. And as you exhale, tip over to the left side. So feeling this in the right hip flexor, the right psoas, in the right waist. Deep breaths. You can use a block or have your hand to the floor. If it doesn't reach the floor, don't beat yourself up about it. Inhale, both arms back up. Plant them either side of the front foot. Shift the hips back, half split, left leg. Fold in from the waist. Long, deep breaths. Listen into your body, never going too deep, knowing the difference between pain and challenge. Now inhale, bend the front knee, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Deep breaths here. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps up between the hands. Plant the left hand underneath the left shoulder and open into an easy twist. So right hand to the sky. Hips remain neutral. Twist is coming from the mid-back. Maybe look up at the sky. If that feels good for your neck. Back leg straight and strong. Exhale, plant the hands. Ground into that front heel. Inhale, body comes up, high lunge. Both palms to the sky. Core is engaged, front ribs are in. Back leg straight and strong with the heel shooting into the back wall. Feeling the strength of this pose. And open up into triangle. Heel to heel alignment. Both legs are straight. Arms come out to a T. Tip forward from the waist, reaching out of the right side. Hand comes to the shin or to a block, to the floor, to the toe. Left arm to the sky, stacking the shoulders, both sides of the waist along. Ground into that right big toe mound, externally rotating the right thigh. Left arch is active. Deep breaths here, core is engaged. Inhale, come up to standing for reverse triangle. So right hand reaches up, left hand on the back of the left leg. Try not to dump loads of weight in there. Use the strength of the core to hold you. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back to plank, move for a vinyasa or go straight to dog. Whatever you decide is your practice. Inhale, left leg reaches to the sky. Exhale, step forward between the hands. Plant that right hand directly underneath the right shoulder. Left arm lifts to the sky for easy twist. Hips are neutral. Twist is from the mid-back. Gazing point is the sky or anywhere that feels good for your neck. Long breaths. Exhale, bring that hand down. Ground into the front heel, lift the body up, high lunge. Left knee is above left ankle, right leg straight and strong. Front ribs are in, hands are around shoulder width apart. Shoulders are relaxed, jaw is relaxed. Breathing is regular and steady. Move into triangle pose, so heel to heel alignment. Straight legs tip forward, so the left hand comes to either the left shin or the block, the floor, the toe, anywhere that feels good for you. Right arm stacked above the left. Maybe look up. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Left big toe mound is pressing into the earth. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reverse triangle, reaching out of that waist. Left arm going towards the back of the room, right hand on the back of the right leg. Inhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, take your vinyasa or move straight to downward facing dog. Take a free breath here in dog, reconnect. Inhale, right leg to the sky, exhale, right foot steps up. Warrior 2, heel to arch alignment. Right knee stacked over the right ankle. Left arch active. Arms are to a T. Shoulders are stacked above the hips. Shoulders are relaxed. Jaw is relaxed. And the gazing point is the middle finger of the front hand. Bring the right arm or elbow to the right thigh for a variation of side angle pose. Feel that long line of energy all the way from the left foot to the tip of the left fingers, stretching over your head, maybe gazing at the palm. Come back to warrior 2, then inhale for reverse warrior, Left hand on the back of the left leg, right knee remains bent, reaching out of the waist, maybe looking up. Cartwheel the hands down, step back, Vinyasa. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, wiping the slate clean. Exhale over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Left foot steps up between the hands, warrior two, second side. Left knee over left ankle. Right arch active, shoulders are stacked over the hips, arms to a T, gazing at the middle finger of the front hand, relaxing the jaw and the tongue. Regular breathing. Left arm to left thigh for side angle variation, reaching out of the waist, long line of energy all the way from that right foot to the right fingertips, maybe looking at the right palm. Opening out of the chest and the waist. Inhale back to warrior two, flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Left knee remains bent. Right arm on the back of the right leg, using it as a guide rather than to hold you up. Keep that waist active. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, take a vinyasa, or move straight to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps up outside the right hand for lizard pose. So left knee descends. You can stay up on the hands, which are both inside the right foot. You can use blocks, give yourself a little bit more space. If it's within your practice, maybe bring elbows down to the blocks. If you're on the elbows, make sure there's weight in that right elbow. It's a tendency for it to become weightless. You may be able to bring both elbows to the floor. Hug that right knee in to the right shoulder. Maybe release the back foot to the floor. Try and reach out of the waist. Long, equal breathing. This is a very intense hip opener. If you're finding it too intense, always back off. Come back up to the hands or back to the blocks. Now rotate the right foot out to an angle. Plant the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Push into the right inner thigh for a twist. Opening out, looking towards the right side of the mat. Getting into the hip in a little bit of a different angle here. Then plant the hands, maybe come down to the left elbow, or you can stay on the left hand. Reach back with the right arm and grab the left foot for a lizard twist. This is very intense. This is getting into the quad and into the hip, opening the shoulders. And exhale, release gently. Wiggle that right foot over to the left side of the mat for pigeon pose. Both hips are neutral. Left leg is extended behind. You can walk it back a little bit with the toes, and that helps just open the hips a little bit more. And as you exhale, come forward over that front leg. The angle of the front shin all depends on the openness of your hip. Mine is always near my groin. If you're very open, it may be parallel to the front of the mat. Just surrender here. Join the stretch, trying to put weight into the left hip, and that just helps open the right hip a little bit more. Letting go of any thoughts that no longer serve you. Letting go of the stress. Just enjoying the time you have chosen to spend on the mat. Inhale, come back up, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, use the core to lift the front knee off the mat, and step back into three-legged dog. Bend the top leg and come into scorpion tail. Do a few knee circles in one direction, getting into all the angles of the hip, and then a few knee circles in the other direction. Then release back to dog. Second side. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps up outside the left hand for lizard. Bring that right knee back to the earth. You can stay up on the hands. This is deep stretch as it is. Maybe come to the elbows on blocks or to the earth. If you're on your elbows, don't allow that left elbow to become weightless. Try and equal the weight in both elbows. Surrendering down, deep breaths, hugging that left knee into the left shoulder. This pose was always my nemesis when I first started practicing yoga. If you're on your elbows, come back up to the hands, plant the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Rotate that left knee out to the side of the foot on angle, pushing the left hand on the inside of the left thigh for a different version of this pose, different angle, getting into the muscles and the hip joint. Bring the hands back to center. You can stay up on both hands or maybe come down to the right elbow, reach back with the left hand to grab the right foot. For twisting lizard, open in the body to the left side of the mat. Deep stretch in the right quad here, and in the left shoulder, and in the left hip. Never sacrificing your breath for the pose. When you're ready, release gently. Come out. Move into pigeon pose on side B. Walk those right toes back, lengthening the leg. Hips are neutral. Reach out of the waist. And exhale, bend forward over that bent front leg. Visualize you're putting weight into that right hip. Help neutralize the pelvis. Surrender down, maybe forehead to the earth or to blocks. Or you can stack your fists and release the forehead to them. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, one-legged royal pigeon pose. Feel the support of the earth. Let all your tension just melt away into the mat and into the earth below. On an inhale, slowly come back up, planting the hands, tuck the back toes, use the core to lift that left leg, step back into three-legged dog, come into that scorpion tail, bending the knee, then a few knee circles in one direction. Always imagine that I'm scraping some treacle from the inside of a barrel when I do this pose. And then scrape the barrel in the opposite direction. Release back to dog. Lengthening out of the spine. Walk or step forward or jump. And we'll move into bridge pose. So come down, laying on the floor, knees are bent with the feet hip width apart. Just reach back with your hands and just touch the back of the heels. That way you know you're in the right position. Lift the pelvis up to the sky. If you have a block, you can do a supported bridge here. So placing the block underneath the sacrum on any of the three heights. Upper arm bones are grounded into the earth. You can interlace the fingers. Chest is raising to the sky. Imagine your tailbone is going towards your knees, feeling this openness in the front body and in the hip flexors. If you're in a supported bridge, just allow the block to support you and surrender into the pose. This pose is known as the pose of forgiveness. Maybe imagine a river is underneath your bridge and it's taking away whatever you need to forgive. If you've got the block, gently remove it and release the pelvis down to the earth. Bring the knees into the chest, separate the knees for happy baby. So knees are coming towards respective armpits, feet are on the sky. You can hold the tops, you can hold the feet or the backs of the thighs, whatever feels good. We'll come into drunk baby, so straighten the right leg if it's available, or you can keep it bent and gently roll over to the right side. So you're in a sort of wonky version of happy baby with the right leg extended. This is very intense on the hamstring, so you can do this with bent legs. Listening to your body, doing your practice. Inhale back to center, and we'll go to the other side. I changed position so I could have a bit more space. You can stay where you are. From happy baby, extend that left leg straight. Remember, you can always keep it bent if it's too much, and then allow the body to tip over to the left side. In a drunken baby, breathe here. I don't think that's an official name. I heard it called that once in a class, so I've adopted it. Return back to happy baby. Then release the feet, bring the knees to tabletop, come into a supine twist, so allow the legs to fall over onto one side. Arms are in cactus, look over the opposite shoulder, try and keep both shoulders on the earth so the twist is coming from the back. On an inhale, bring the knees back to the midline. Exhale, release them over to the other side, both shoulders planted. Looking over the opposite shoulder if that feels good on the neck. Long breaths. Twists are always so good to do at the end of practice. They really help reset the entire body. Bring the knees in for one last little squeeze. And then when you're ready, release the feet out. Allow them to flop open. Palms face to the sky, by the sides. Allow the fingers to curl towards your heart. Close the windows of the eyes and turn the arrows of attention inside. As you lay here, I have a reading for you. This is from the Dalai Lama. And as it's the season of goodwill, this is really relevant. It's a reading about compassion. Compassion is one of the principal things that makes our lives meaningful. It is the source of all lasting happiness and joy, and it is the foundation of a good heart, the desire to help others. Through kindness, through affection, through honesty, through truth and justice towards everyone else, we also ensure our own benefit. The necessity of love and compassion is the real basis of my religion, my simple faith. To put them into practice within a secular framework, we don't need a temple, church, or other building, nor any complicated philosophy. Our own hearts and minds are where we work, while the only doctrine we need is compassion. So long as we put this into practice in our daily lives, so long as we have compassion for others and conduct ourselves with restraint out of a sense of responsibility, there is no doubt we will be happy. You can stay here in Shavasana for as long as you like. Otherwise, start to bring some movement into the fingers and toes. Maybe taking a full body stretch. Bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a tight hug. When you're ready, roll over onto your favorite side. Come into the fetal position, using the hands like a pillow under the cheek. Surrender here for a moment. And when it feels good for you, keeping the eyes closed, push yourself up to a comfortable seated position, cross-legged or sitting on the heels. Bring the palms face down on the knees for grounding. And take a moment here to reflect on the good things this year has brought you. Bring the palms into the chest in Namaste Mudra. Raise them up to the third eye for your intuition, to the lips for your authentic truth, back to the heart for your compassion. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Thank you for practicing with me in this Christmas flow. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I thank you for practicing with me throughout the year. I really appreciate all your support. And I hope to see you again soon. Wishing you a wonderful Christmas and New Year.